He died a more wretched, hopeless, heartbroken prisoner than the felons who pay the penalty of their crimes at the galleys of Toulon. A deadly pallor followed the flush on the countenance of Caderousse, who turned away, and the priest saw him wiping the tears from his eyes with the corner of the red handkerchief twisted around his head. "Poor, poor fellow," murmured Caderousse. "Well, there, sir, is another proof that good people are never rewarded on this earth, and that none but the wicked prosper. Ah," continued Caderousse, speaking in the highly colored language of the South, "the world grows worse and worse. Why does not God, if he really hates the wicked, as he is said to do, send down brimstone and fire and consume them altogether?" "You speak as though you would love this young Dante," observed the abbé, without taking any notice of his companion's vehemence. "And so I did," replied Caderousse, "though once, I confess, I envied him his good fortune. But I swear to you, sir, I swear to you, by everything a man holds dear, I have since then deeply and sincerely lamented his unhappy fate." There was a brief silence, during which the fixed, searching eye of the abbé was employed in scrutinizing the agitated features of the innkeeper. "You knew the poor lad, then?" continued Caderousse. "I was called to see him on his dying bed, that I might administer to him the consolations of religion." "And of what did he die?" asked Caderousse in a choking voice. "Of what, think you, do young and strong men die in prison, when they have scarcely numbered their 13th year, unless it be of imprisonment?" Caderousse wiped away the large beads of perspiration that gathered on his brow. Did Caderousse just tip his hand accidentally? I maybe not here, but like this is the second instance of Caderousse knowing the truth of Dante and betraying himself unintentionally. So I'm pulling out like this line here. "I have since then deeply and sincerely lamented his unhappy fate." And there was a line, was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday at the very end of the passage when he said, "Did you know him? Is he alive and at liberty? Is he prosperous and happy?" Caderousse, who said he knew Dante and was intimate friends with him, has really given no story to the abbé that he knew what happened to him, and it would be odd if Dante just disappeared and Caderousse never mentioned it, but also that if he knew Dante had been imprisoned, he doesn't mention that either. What he does mention is knowing that he was imprisoned by asking if he was at liberty, and then here, with that line I just read, "I swear to you by everything a man holds dear, I have since then deeply and sincerely lamented his unhappy fate." So he knew what Dante's fate was, and that it was unhappy, and that he is claiming to have experienced guilt. Well, I mean, he doesn't say guilt, but he says lamented his unhappy fate. There's something not adding up to Caderousse's story here. And I think, is it just the nervousness over how intense this abbé is, or is it nervousness over his complicity or his cowardice for not intervening and stopping Dante's fate? Caderousse, I'm just going to say, he's got a bad poker face, I think. But not without remorse, either. Like, he is being affected by learning of what happened to Dante, and that Dante died in prison. Okay, actually, yeah, that's a good point to discuss as well. The abbé saying that Dante died in prison. We know that's not true. Now, okay, I'm not gonna reveal yet my suspicion that Dumas might be trying to trick me here. But let's just ask the question: who does it benefit for the abbé to say that Dante died in prison? It would benefit Villefort and the monarchy to not acknowledge publicly that someone escaped. Okay, there's a little bit of credence to that. Maybe that is where things are going. Maybe Dumas, I got your number, man. I know exactly what's going on now, because it does benefit one other person, but you haven't tipped your hand yet. Not yet, but I will get you at one point. I know what you're doing. You can't trick me, man. I know it. I've studied your work too intensely for 10 months now. I know when I'm being fooled. But when is the reveal going to happen? One way or the other, actually. It wasn't today. Will it be tomorrow as we continue here with more of the Count of Monte Cristo? This is a long chapter, so sorry I'm making some of these episodes short. Got to get through it for my own sanity and to uncover this trick that Dumas is trying to play on me. You can't do it. I promise you. Okay, join me here tomorrow. Goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.